Welcome back to another edition of the Pitch Putt and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. But before we get rolling, just want to take a quick second and give a shout out to my sponsors, 420 Bliss, located at 740 Hoosick Road in Troy, New York, right in the Walmart Plaza. Make sure you stop in there, check them out. Tomorrow is 420, so definitely pop in there. They got everything you're looking for: pre-rolls, flour, edibles, tinctures, vapes, disposables, you name it, they got it. Let them know the Pitch Putt and Puff crew sent you. Also, got to check out my man Marty at Trouble Off the Tee. Make sure you check out his book on Spotify, narrated by Jake Adams from Country Club Adjacent, as well as his website, troubleoffthetee.com. Use promo code RGB site-wide for 15% off, as well as promo code PUFF on the polos. You get a buy one, get one free on the polos. Check him out. But tonight we're staying in the cannabis world. Finish off 420 week here. Bringing in the boys from the Baller Blunts. What's up, fellas? How are you today?
How you doing?
Good. How you doing, my man?
Good. Appreciate you guys jumping on, man. I've been watching your guys' lives for a little bit, and it's crazy because I'll feel like it was like 2-3 hours ago, and then I'll come back on my phone and you guys are still going, and I'm like, I wouldn't even be standing, man. I'm like, it's impressive. It's impressive.
Yeah. This channel has built quite the tolerance. Let's just say that.
That's what's up, though. It's good, though. I mean, you guys are doing good. You got a bunch of followers. You're putting good content out there. You're obviously making waves, so you're doing what you need to do out here. This is a tough side of it, man. The cannabis world is a tough industry to deal with. Like, I deal with a lot of golf companies who have told me like they didn't want to come on the podcast just because of the puff portion of the pitch putt and puff, Sure. And I get it. Some of them deal with like youth leagues and the junior leagues, but it just comes to a point where it's like, all right, you got to find where you're wanted and go in that direction.
Absolutely.
So why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you got into the industry?
Well, Dave, I'll let you start that one because Dave tells it the best.
So I'm Dave. I mean, so to kind of tell how Baller Blunt started, I mean, it kind of started almost as a little bit of a joke between us. We our wives set us up on a birthday weekend because our birthdays are a week apart in February. They're like, you guys need to go snowboarding together. You guys need to hang out together. And little did they know what they got themselves or got everybody into. Because what that weekend, I thought it was going to be like a skiing and snowboarding weekend, and we'd also smoke some weed and that type of thing. But in reality, it turned into
not how I roll.
That's not how he rolls at all. In fact, so it turned into a weed weekend, and there happened to be a little skiing and snowboarding involved in it as well. And in the process, I think we hit 6 or 7 dispensaries throughout Michigan, and I've worked with people at dispensaries a long time. I've been around. I'm from California, so I've seen a lot. I've never seen anybody go into a dispensary and do what he did just for himself. Like, it was insane. Like, I mean, we spent like an hour and a half, 2 hours in each dispensary, and he's just like, yeah, what do you have there? Jeter's, okay, I'll take all of the flavors and make it 3 of those ones. And it was one of those things where I'm just like, dude, as we're leaving, I'm sitting there saying to him, dude, like, nobody, like, for you, this was just a normal dispensary visit. For that guy behind the counter, you just gave him a story for life. Like, because nobody does this. So to me, I'm like, between that and the blunts that you roll and everything, I'm like, man, we should be filming this. Like, we should, considering all the crap that people put out there, I'm like, this is actually pretty damn interesting. Like, I've never seen anything I've never even heard of anything like this before. Yeah. And so it kind of started just talking about that. And then so.
And then it just, so I just started kind of filming myself, camera above my hands, like rolling donuts. And then I get crazy at night by myself. Like, I'll roll everything from BHO, hash rosin, keef, distillate, or everything that I can put in one. I would challenge myself to try to do. And then I would film myself and smoke it, the whole thing, and like just, make a video of it. But I would always show off the products, I guess. I was always, trying to show the brand, the eighth bag, all of that. So we started catching a little traction, and then I'd say we really caught traction when we started going to festivals. I had a friend of mine who's on our team, Scotty V. He's an inspirational guy. He on Instagram, he likes doing inspirational morning quotes and stuff. But he, what the hell was I doing?
He went to Hash Bash.
Oh yeah, he went to Hash Bash and he said, "Man, you guys are missing the boat." Like, because we'd never been to Hash Bash before.
Never.
And he was like, "You guys are missing the boat on these caregiver festivals. Like, you're going to dispensaries and doing all this, but the caregivers, man, it's a wild west out there. It's pretty cool." So we started going to a couple festivals and just fell in love with the people there, the atmosphere, the quality of bud that you find at caregiver festivals, and the rosin,
the love for the plant.
the love for the plant. It's all small batch, so it's it's really nice. It's good quality. It's fresh, a lot fresher than dispensary stuff. So we just fell in love with it. Started recording and started doing and just filming, basically like what he was saying. Like, let's just show what we see.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So instead of just going there. I guess I should say, we noticed that everybody on Instagram that was doing something besides Julian Jar Productions, that's one of our buddies. He does a great job.
Absolutely.
But most people, it's all about themselves. Like, look where I'm at, doing a tour. You know what I mean? And it's not about the business, and it's not about the facility that you're at. And it's not about the plant and these guys that are bringing this plant to you. So we thought, let's do this from an angle where it's not about Dave and me. Like, let's just show what we see, and what we're interested in. So we started doing that, and then we had a couple of facilities reach out to us. They liked what we were doing. Gold Crown was the first.
Yep.
They asked us to come up and do a tour, and then it just kind of it's taken off from there, man, to be honest.
And let me also specify. So in the beginning, it was, well, we're not going to be on camera. Like, we don't want to be on camera at all.
Right.
I especially was like, I am not going. That's just a no-go. I am not going on camera.
Yep.
I'm a pretty shy person. It was not my deal. And
Sure.
and then suddenly,
now we have dabs with Dave every day.
Every day I see the story up there. So it's so funny because the stories are my story's similar, because same thing. Like, I didn't want to be on camera. I wasn't really doing anything. Like, how it all started was, we were on the golf course, and the guys I play with there's a bunch of characters out there. So there's some funny shit that happens on the course. I said, why not start filming this? So I literally bought like a mount one day that would go like on a visor for your rear view mirror in your car. I strapped it up to the golf cart and just pulled my phone out and started recording. Like, these guys didn't know I was pretending like I was keeping the GPS of the course. And then I would just start recording. So like, some people don't like to be filmed when they're playing and shit like that. So I try to respect it. So I try to make it so nonchalant. These guys don't know when I'm filming and when I'm not.
Wow.
So I get good content doing that. Like, some guys now, like one of my buddies, Steve, he's reckless. He just got a job with the state, so I can't really put too much of what he used to say out, like what he says on film. So I have to warn him before I go live or anything like that. But it's really a similar story, because like, even I didn't start putting video up until about January on the podcast. February on the podcast. I was just audio, because I didn't want to be seen, and I wasn't comfortable. And then it got to the point where I was like, I have to go all in if I'm going to do this, and slowly just start building it up. And I'm in that process right now, just trying to connect with really everybody I can, to just, network and find out, everybody's got a story. So I try to,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, and when I find people like you guys, I watch your guys, like I said, watch the lives. I find them interesting. I shoot you a DM, comment on the lives, just try to connect. And here we are, because I'm interested in what you guys are all about and how you got to where you are, kind of thing, because everybody's journey is different.
Absolutely. I mean, when Dave and I decided to really take this more serious, when it was a flip from this is fun to we might be able to do something with this, it's been different, but it's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but we realized that we wanted to create a platform for everybody. We don't charge people to put on our stories. We don't charge. They send us a flyer, I post it. Like, we don't charge. Eventually, obviously, we're trying to do paid collabs and things like that at some point.
Sure.
But right now, no, everything we do is free to everybody. Even our competitions have 0 entry fees. And I don't know if you know this, but we buy all of the products from these vendors, because we want skin in the game. Right? Like, we want an equal vote in this. So if you're giving it to us, we don't feel like we have skin in the game, So we, our first hash rosin competition cost us almost $6,000 to put that on.
Damn.
You know, yeah. I mean, the way we look at it is we're bringing something new and something fresh and something different. All the judges we've been judges many times at festivals and caregiver festivals because of all the content we put out, you know, and promote these guys. They ask us to be judges and stuff. So we've been judges a lot of times, and we get asked all the time, like, how did you how the hell did you become a judge, a cannabis judge? That's got to be the coolest job in the world. First of all, we don't get paid for it, but
Right.
you know, so we started thinking, and it was like, well, let's just film ourselves and let's show the judging live. Like, let's show people that judging it's you, it's me, it's him. It's just normal dudes who can smoke weed and who will sit down and critique it
Have something to say.
and have something to say about it. That's literally all it is, you know.
And truthfully, what kind of what we wanted to change a little bit from what we had seen, like when we were judges. Okay, so we turn in, you know, we're doing it from home. We test everything, but of course, nobody is verifying if there's any consistency in how we're doing anything. Are we testing them one per day? Are we doing it all in one night? So you don't know with any of the judges how any of that's being done.
You don't even know if they really did it.
Right. You don't
know. Like, I mean, if they're grading a topical, do you really know if they put that topical on?
Right. And are they explaining
or are
why,
they just
or is it just
a 5 or an 8?
I'm just going to give it a 7, whatever. I mean,
because in today's point, I mean, when they hand you a bag, it's a book bag, and it has like 50 to 80 items that you got to try in like a week or two period.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So it's crazy. It's kind of nuts, right? So it's like, and for us, when we decided to do competitions, it was more, we're not going to do hybrid indica sativa. We're going to do overall flower, right?
Okay.
Because half these people anyway will try to tell you that something is a sativa, but everything's hybrid nowadays, damn near.
Right.
Like I mean, there is, you know, sativa based. I don't want to say that because there are people growing, but
it's rare.
It's rare. You know, it's not as common as people think it is, and you can't, unless you are a genetics company. Excuse me, you can't really say 100% what that strain is.
Yep.
You know, so we just wanted to do something different, you know, and
show how we're doing it. You know, like you may not necessarily, you know, again, or somebody could be in a tent. I don't know why they did it, and even as a judge, they don't tell us what the results overall are or why that happened. So we're sitting there saying, well, look, let's show everybody. You may not agree with my opinion. Everybody's opinion is different, but you're going to see why I gave that opinion. You can clearly see why, and I'm going to describe exactly what this experience was for you. So, you know, again, it's still trying to pull back the curtain a little bit.
Yeah, and, you know, and one of the things that you know, I will say that about our competitions, because they are kind of growing in terms of popularity. It's kind of funny because we did it at first, obviously, just to create content. You know, just to bring something different to people, but to create content overall. You know what I mean? But the competitions themselves are just growing at such a pace that I'm really excited to see where we're going to go with them, to be honest with you, because we're taking where it's one like I said, when they give you a book bag and there's 80 things in it, you'll have donuts to judge, you'll have pre-rolls to judge, you'll have carts to judge, you'll have topical. It's everything under the sun. And
so that's insane to me because, like, all right, for example, like I get a package similar to that from my sponsor, and to go through that in a week or 2 weeks span and be able to like accurately tell you like this pre-roll is better than this pre-roll or whatever the case may be. This, you know, this flower is better than this one. You can't tell because you're still, you know, feeling the effects of the other one. You're not going to give it an honest opinion off of what you're doing. So it's just that's way too much. Speaking of that though, we can get into the smoke of the night here. I'm smoking. It's about that time. I got a Toast Classic here, Blueberry Haze pre-roll. That's what I'm getting tonight.
Who's that by?
Toast Classic. It's probably a local New York vendor.
Oh, I love New York, man. I ship a lot of products to New York.
Yeah, don't say where they're from. I'm assuming it's in New York. I think in New York they have to purchase from New York growers.
Oh man, you want to know something funny, man? I used to go, but obviously I can say this now because it's past tense. Man, dude. So I like I told you earlier, I've been working for myself for like 25 years, man. And so one of the things I used to do back when I was like 20 and 21 and 22, or got 20 through probably 25, I don't know, somewhere around there. Dude, I used to go to New York because I had a buddy, man, who would take me down. I think is it Broadway where all the knockoffs are?
Canal.
Canal, that's where it is. Dude, and going to the, the Arabs where you fucking pull the doors and you go behind the fucking wall and
Yep.
shit, bro. I used to
Oh,
go
yeah.
there and buy. That was when like Artful Dodger, Ed Hardy, all that shit was real big, bro. I used to go there
Yep.
and oh my god, I did that shit for like 5 years, bro. I cleaned house. I was making bank every day with that shit.
So I
It
live
was
upstate.
awesome.
I live upstate New York in like the Albany area, and
Okay.
I literally go down there. I used to go do the same thing. Go down there for Christmas time, stock up like
Yeah.
November. Go down, hit Canal Street, come up here, sell all the shit to people. When I was like in my early 20s, same exact thing. You got to go to the right spot, and then once they know who you are, you keep going back. They open up that back door. You go
Yep.
through a couple hallways. You go through a room, and all of a sudden, ta-da!
Yep.
Everything you're looking for, man.
I had one time, man, like one time it sketched me out. I was out there. It was because the African dudes are the ones on the street corners hollering. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then you got to follow them to they're the little street peddlers. So you follow them, and this guy's making me follow him, and I'm following him a little further than normal. Like this isn't just to a store. And then he gets in a car and he's like, "Nah, come on with me." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Don't you want the Jordans?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I guess." So he's like, "Man, get in the car. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you, man." Blah blah blah. So like a dummy, I get in the car. You know what I mean? And I go. We pull up in a storage unit. We go fucking in the storage unit. Dude opens the storage unit, and it's a 30-foot long storage unit full of Jordans. He was like,
Oh,
"I told
shit.
you I wasn't bullshitting you." It's like, "Oh snap."
Damn.
That's them New Yorkers, man. They're wild,
Yeah,
bro.
man. New York, it's different down there. I go down there every December. My buddy has a Christmas tree business, and I go down and help him deliver the trees and sell the trees and all that stuff. And it's so like from where I live to down there, it's two different worlds, man.
Oh, huge,
Oh
dude.
yeah.
So
Oh
different.
yeah, I'm sure.
So
I
different.
think anywhere outside of that city in that city is different.
Yeah, it's wild. It's absolutely wild. Um, but yeah, we're luckily, I mean, it just became legalized up here just under 2 years ago now. Like and now it's to the point where dispensaries are starting to pop up everywhere. So people are just becoming more and more comfortable with it as well.
Oh, I hear they just allow that shit on the streets and everything there. The
Down
cops
there they
don't.
do. Down
Yeah,
there
I
they
hear they
do.
don't care.
It's craziness. Like for example, I was down there for the Christmas thing. Walked up to the store to get something. My buddy was shopping looking for something for his kid, so he's in the shop, and he's taking forever. So I'm sitting out there with a pre-roll. I spark it up. A cop walks out of the store, Dunkin' Donuts, wherever we were, and I'm just sitting there smoking, and I'm like, because like used to go down there all the time, hang out with my buddy when he lived down there. And you would be terrified if you seen a cop and you were smoking because they would fucking fuck with you back then.
Oh
I
yeah,
see.
bro.
Huge.
Oh
He
yeah.
walked right by me. What's up, buddy? I'm like, what's up? Like I froze. I was like, oh my god. I was like,
That's
I'm fucked.
wild.
And he
Yeah,
just
I
walked
couldn't
right by,
imagine
and I'm
that.
like, holy shit. I'm like, times have finally changed. Like it's just taken like they got so much other shit to deal with now down there as well now.
Oh, hell
Oh,
yes.
But the way the shops are too, if they like the illegal dispensaries, they pop up, they get raided. So I seen two of them got raided at about 11 o'clock in the morning. By 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they were back up and running.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. It's
Fully
the same with the knockoff
stocked.
guys.
Yeah.
That's the same with the knockoff guys. It's the same
Yep.
shit.
Yeah.
They only bring out so much that
Yep.
can get popped, and then once that gets taken, they know the cops aren't coming back.
Yep.
So they go back and they set right back up.
Yep. They got a van waiting down the block to refill.
Yep.
No.
It's like, here's the teaser. Go ahead and take it.
So basically, New York is followed the exact same way that Los Angeles and California did it originally, and you'd think that they would have learned from their fuck up, but nah, that's
Right.
it's insane to me because I that's where I'm from originally, and so we had that originally where in the city of LA they had was it 37 or 47 pre-ICOs, actual legal shops. There were
Okay.
1,800 illegal shops. And everybody's like, okay, cops, you go shut them down. They're like, we don't have the funding for that. Like, we don't give a shit. Like, what's so the city just ended up getting to a point where they said, okay, well, we're going to fine them every day that they want to stay open. But the fine was a lot less than they were making. So they just paid the fine. City's like, we're not going to shut them down. We're making money. The state's like, shut them down. We're not making sale. It was a disaster. So I thought that New York might have learned a thing or two, but yeah, no.
Worst run state in the country. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. It's so
Yeah,
terrible.
no.
Like, but being a New Yorker, I used to have pride saying you're from New York. Now it's like to the point where it's almost embarrassing just because of the way it's fucking ran.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Tough.
Yep. Still dealing with every winter I say to myself, because I'm a golfer, I want to be outside playing golf all the time. I'm sit here and I watch videos of people out in California, Florida, Carolinas. I'm like, why am I up here? Like, what am I still doing here? If it wasn't for the wife and the kiddo, I'd be gone, sitting on
No,
a
I
beach
guess
somewhere playing golf.
dude, I got a buddy who's living that dream, man. He's trying to go pro, like at the older age pro. You know what? I
Yep, the
don't know what
senior tour.
you know. I don't know. Yeah, the senior
The
pro
senior
league.
tour.
Dude, he is insane. He's so good. He used to like play like in college and shit back in the day. So he's been playing golf a long time. He's like 3 or 4 years older than me, and I'm 42. I'm 43, so he's like
Mm-hmm.
45, 46. But dude, yeah, he lives down in Orlando and he plays every fuck. He owns a painting business and he gets off at 2 o'clock every day so he can go play golf every
Boom.
day.
That's what I do.
Every
I go.
fucking day of his life, he plays golf.
I work for a beer distributor. I go into the grocery stores at 4 a.m. I'm out at noon every day, so I go play 5-6 days a week. It's lovely.
Nice.
Man,
Good for
It
you.
sucks getting
that's
up
awesome.
that early, but I'm used to it now.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even. I sleep 3-4 hours a night anyway, so it don't matter.
Same here, brother. Same here.
There's just too much
I-
going on. You guys know, like trying to put out content and connecting with everybody. It's work. Like people don't realize it, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. Like planning
It's a second
events and
job.
shit. It's a second
It's a
job.
second
It is
job.
100% a second job.
Oh,
It's
people have
100%.
no idea, man. I can tell you this, like the business that me and my partner own, we do almost 4 million a year in sales, and our average ticket item is like $80. So you can tell how many items we sell.
Yeah.
And
That's the sports. That's the
this,
sports memorabilia you were talking about.
yeah.
Okay.
So this business, this marketing channel, I work around the clock. There's never, because I have throughout my day while I'm working at my sports office, I'm checking Instagram, checking things periodically because I get messages, I get people sending me flyers. It is a never-ending job. Like I work so much more with this company than I do with my other company that actually generates a lot of money.
Yeah. And
That's
the
cool
other
though.
side of that too is, just going to festivals. A lot of times we'll do, or like when we go on a facility tour, we go on facility tours where we literally spend 8 hours on the road just to get there, 2 hours at the facility, but 8 hours
Yeah.
on the road, and we're back the same night because we got kids and they got sports on Saturday, and we're not missing
Yeah.
kids' sports, and that's that.
Yep. That's the same thing. Like my buddies are going on a golf trip this weekend, up to Massachusetts, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and I had to stay back because my daughter just started playing softball and it's opening weekend. I'm like, bro, we planned this like 6 months ago, but I didn't know that her first
Right.
weekend was going to be there. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I can't
Yeah,
go.
you can't miss it.
That's that.
Exactly.
That's for the priorities, man. It's crazy, but like another similarity, what you guys are doing, like you guys do the facility reviews. I'm gonna start going around and doing golf course reviews.
That's awesome. That's a great idea.
Then going like the restaurant and doing like giving a food review at the restaurant and stuff. Because what we do is every Sunday I have 8 guys. It's been the same 8 guys for about 2 years now. Sometimes we get 12, so we mix it up and we play our round. And at the end, everybody picks a card. Whoever has the same 2, like an ace, king, that's your team. Whoever has the lowest score wins. So we play for like $25. It's just something fun to do with the boys on the weekend, just to do something. And then, like I said, I just started popping the camera out, and sometimes they knew, sometimes they didn't. Sometimes I would post their shitty shots. Sometimes I let it slide. They never knew what was going to post up. So keep them on their toes, but it keeps
them on their toes. Exactly.
That's right.
And now now that the content's going out, they want to start getting better. So I see the guys. We're at the simulators this winter, like in the indoor practicing, and like came out this year. Like my one guy, Fairway Mike, usually goes out there early. He's out there like 7, 8 o'clock. If it's 40 degrees or better, he's at the golf course practicing.
That's funny. You show up. You show up. He's like, "Hey, you filming this?"
Yeah, we're pretty much
filming this drive.
Did you get that one? Did you get that one?
Right? Did you get that drive?
Nope, not that one, buddy. Come on, man.
I got the one where you missed.
Those are the ones I'll post.
You were saying something about food as well.
Yeah, so we're gonna go like most the courses have like food at the turn or at the restaurant after, like in the clubhouse. We're gonna pop in there and do like because there's 8 of us, so everybody can try something different off of the menu and give a good solid food review there as well. So
nice.
I reached out to like 5 courses. 3 of them got back to me. 2 were a go and 1 was a no. So far so good. Like I said, you gotta go where you want it.
It's a start.
But as we learned too, once you do that first one, everybody sees that you've done that first one. Now everybody's like, what about me?
Yeah, it started off once Gold Crown gave us the shot. Now damn near every place wants us to come.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all it takes is that one.
Yep.
One of the things I was going to say to you, do you have like a professional like videographer, someone who
No.
edits all of your stuff like professionally?
Well, so
So if
I'm
you're gonna do if you want to do the golf course stuff, man, and obviously this is not. So I get our video guy who does all our video. He's our first employee that we put on salary.
Yep.
uh-huh.
Uh, that guy, I can connect you with him
Okay.
because he does. Obviously, you see, he does great work. He's really
Yep.
good. He's very reasonable.
Yep.
I'll just tell him to take care of you give. Like I would say, like give one video a shot. Try it. And
Yep.
you'll be surprised because when me and Dave decided to go ahead and do outsourcing for our editing and all of that stuff, dude, our fucking shit turned around night and day. You can tell the
Really?
transition on our videos from where we were professional and where we were not.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
it's night and day difference, and our content is so much better now. He's worth every penny that we've spent.
because the algorithm is fucking tricky, man, especially with the cannabis side of it. I mean, my logo is a golf ball smoking a joint, so I think that might affect me in certain things. So, like, I tested something not too long ago. I'm on another podcast, the Upstate Golf Guys, and we don't smoke on there. We keep it clean as we can, and we both posted the same video, and his got literally like 70,000 views, and mine got like maybe 800, 900. Like just 900 views, not even 1,000. Didn't even crack the 1,000 mark. I'm like, all right, is it? And I have more followers than him and all that shit. I'm like, we posted at the same time, like the whole 9 yards, and it was like, damn, why did that take off and that one didn't, kind of thing. So it's just, I don't get it. I do not get it.
Again, you bring up a good point in terms of a logo, and that's where, again, our logo says cannabis reviewers, but it's not like there's nothing smoking, right? So it's not going to hit an algorithm really in terms of that. And you really do. You have to kind of adjust things to find that sweet spot, really.
Yep. And that's where I am right now. I do have a graphic designer working on a new logo for me currently. She's working on it. Awesome. Chili Millie, she's affiliated to like the We Don't Smoke the Same podcast. I don't know if you ever heard of them. E-Zone.
No.
They're affiliated to Cypress Hill. Be Real and all them. It's E-Zone.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, E-Zone and XG, they've both been on the podcast. I recently just had E-Zone on. I think I dropped that one on Wednesday. Real cool dudes. They get some really cool guests. Obviously, some of the guys from Cypress Hill jump on there. Just different cannabis people, just kind of anything. They mix it up as well. So they've been supporting me since the jump. So shout out to those guys, man. It's pretty cool. Like I actually just got recently offered to be like to do like ad reads for a CBD company, a golf related CBD company. And I had no idea like how much to charge and do all this and that. I didn't even know how it worked, and to have the access to be able to like reach out to those guys and be like, yo, what do you guys like? How do you do this? And for them to help me kind of thing. Cause like, there's nobody in my phone that I could have called and been like, yo, how do you do this?
Same here. We got nobody. This is totally different than what I'm used to doing.
And truthfully, like, because what we're doing is kind of a bit different than what anybody else is doing. So again, like, it's when you're in your own lane and nobody else is doing what you're doing, how do you get to that point of creating revenue and where to kind of go with things? How much do you charge? What do you,
are you guys on YouTube as well? Or
we have a YouTube channel, but it's not popping, and I haven't tried to promote it. It's on our Instagram page, like on the homepage, you'll see the link, but I have never made a story or anything trying to push people to it or anything yet. Because I feel like I want to build it up to where I have like a lot of content on there, and then when I start pushing it, people be like, "Oh shit, yeah, check out the like there's a lot of shit on there." I don't want to just have like 2 or 3 videos on there. So you
guys might as well start like your lives are a podcast though. Like it's a pod. That's basically what you guys are doing. You guys easily could set up the RSS feed and just start pumping out podcasts and earn ad revenue that way as well. There's options out there.
We've definitely been talking about that. That's definitely been something we're definitely been considering. Part of it is also we're expanding so quickly and kind of going down so many different roads at the same time. We have to balance out our time.
Right. So, how long ago did you guys start this?
We are almost a year and a half now.
Okay, damn. Oh shit.
Yeah. It's been a freight train.
But really,
No
I mean, I'd
doubt.
say since last April, May is really when we started going to the festivals and things started real. That's when again we kind
About
of
a year, yeah.
that's
Like,
really
I mean, when we say going hard, I mean a lot of people don't realize like we go. There's a lot of content that we've never aired.
Yeah.
I mean, we go almost every weekend,
Yep.
somewhere. So it's. I mean, I would say out of a month, we probably take one weekend off to stay home with the kid. Like, I mean, we same day trips a lot of times, but
Sure.
every weekend we're usually going somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's quite our wives are very understanding, and we have the best wives in the world. If they ever watch this, we love you,
Yeah, no
ladies.
doubt.
they love
Same here, dude. Yeah, because for what I was doing was like at Christmas when I was just doing the audio and all that, wasn't really pumping out the Instagram. Like I'm active on the social media, posting like every Sunday or Monday whenever we played. I post a couple videos, and then I had the conversation with my wife because I have a 6-year-old daughter, and said, I'm going to start taking this more serious. And she's like, well, what do you mean by that? I'm like, I'm going to start getting guests on. I'm going to try to get like,
time.
I'm really going to put some time into this. And she's like, all right, you enjoy doing it, go for it. And from that point in, like January, I jumped on. I had 140 followers at Christmas. I remember looking, and now I'm up to almost 1,700 in just that, a couple months there. And it's just picking away, like interviewing different people, networking with different people is just connecting me with other people, and that's slowly just growing it. And it's like it's just fun. If anything, it's fun. Like I'm not looking
Yeah.
to be Joe Rogan. I'm just looking at fill some time in the winter and a couple days a week and have something to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, and for me and Dave, really, what this is really, it's our passion for the plant because we
Yep.
love cannabis in all forms of it. Other than carts, not a big cart guy, but other than that,
Yeah.
but it's the second phase. You know what I mean? Like I'm an entrepreneur. I've been working for myself since I've been 20, 21 years old, and I can't work for anybody else. And
Same here.
what am I? And my wife knows. I mean, dude, I've owned, like I said, that business in my 20s. I've owned 2 baseball card stores. I've owned a memorabilia shop. I've owned an aquarium store, an education center. I've owned, I've
Nice.
done a lot of shit in my day, man. A lot of
Yep.
different shit. And my wife knows that as soon as I hang up the gloves and me and my partner sell the company or whatever, that I'm gonna do something.
Right.
And that's where this was kind of like, this will fill my time, and I love this. And I don't care if I make money on it. That's not really what this was about. It was
What's it
really just
about? Right.
something for fun and for retirement and give me something to do. And it's opened doors for us. I mean, fuck, man, we've been in so many. I'm sorry if I wasn't allowed
No,
to
you can
cuss.
swear all you want. You can do
we,
whatever you
we,
want.
we've been in so many cool places. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we're going to be hopefully the official media, one of the official media for the Emerald Cup this year.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
shit.
yeah, so it's like doors are just opening for something that we did for fun,
Yep.
and people, I guess people like how we present what we see.
Yeah,
And
and that's
I
what I'm
mean, for
saying. You
me,
guys are just being natural, being yourselves, and that's the easy thing about it. If you start like the ones who put up a persona and pretend to be someone they're not, are the ones who don't make it because you can't continue that
no,
forever.
Nah, no.
at some point you're going to get exposed, and once people see through it, the facade doesn't last. I mean, and and I mean, again, like kind of as you was saying, I mean, so I've been in business for myself for 20 years. I do bookkeeping and business management, and
Hmm.
what I do is great. It's fine and everything. Am I passionate about it? It's accounting. I mean, it pays the bills, and I'm good at it, and that's cool. And
Right.
if I can make a living and feed my family, and that's what it's about. But
Sure.
to have something that you love doing. I mean, I'm 47. Again, like he says, I mean, I don't really want to do this forever. I want to move on and do other things. But yeah, this was a matter of us something that we're passionate about and saying, you know, both of us are business minded people. Like we
Yep.
start going, we're spend enough time together. We go to enough of these things. We're like, there's something here. We
Yeah.
we see it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and as I said, I mean, I'm the crazy wild entrepreneur dreamer of the company. There's no doubt about it. And
Mr. Practical.
Dave is my practical. So I can come up with a million ideas, and Dave can
Hmm.
shoot 90% of them down. But then he'll be like, "Dude, that one though is a great
Yeah.
fucking idea. Let's run with it."
Because I'm a numbers guy. It's
Yeah.
like everything is the matrix to me. Like you give me an idea, and I'm just adding it up, and like, well, I don't see how you're going to make money with that. So I'm a dream killer, and I am. But yeah, when you give me something, and I'm like, so And
you
that was
got
the
to
thing with
it's
it.
got to make sense. It's got to make sense
Yeah,
It
and
does.
dollars at the same time.
Absolutely.
And again, you have to enjoy it. I mean, again, to spend many hours in a car and as many hours driving and videoing and doing this and that. I mean, you have to really enjoy it, or it would be miserable.
Oh yeah, and let me tell you, that first hash rosin competition, Mr. Accountant over here, he was not happy with me for spending that much money.
Oh, geez. Oh,
Oh
Sitting there
man.
sweating, just
Oh yeah,
sweating,
I
watching.
came, dude. I came back from an Ohio festival, man, and I had like 45 jars of rosin. And you know how much rosin is, man. Like I think I bought like 45 jars, and I was like, "We're ready for a competition." And he's like, "Well, how many did you get?" And I'm like, 45, and his jaw just about dropped. He's like, "Bro, like, are you serious?"
So when you guys on the live, you guys purchase all those
Oh
jars.
yeah, we buy
Holy
everything.
shit.
everything.
Oh yeah, bro. Like
Damn.
we pump a lot. I mean, and people don't realize, it's like, yes, we have a lot of followers and we have all that, but people have no idea what it costs us to run this channel every month.
Right.
I mean, people don't know. Like, I mean, we have professional lights set up right there and over there, and we have backdrops, neon lights. We do so much over the top balloons usually in all of our things, and I went out just before I did the little glass segment thing. I went out and dropped $1,000 on 2 glass pipes just so we'd have really nice glass pieces in the little video. It's like we do so much shit in this channel. It costs us so much money. And the one thing that people don't realize, like followers with Instagram's algorithm, I have found the best way to get followers is to pay Instagram to do it for you.
Yeah. Put the
Ads.
boost on it, right?
Ads. And here's the thing too, and Terp Queen I saw said it in your video, and it makes a lot of sense, and it's absolutely true. I believe if you're running ads with Instagram, they don't care about your account.
That's right.
Right, because you're
Because they
paying
want they want. She did say that they want the
revenue.
money coming in. Yep.
Absolutely. So I mean, bro, I usually have on average about 15 to 20 ads running every fucking day.
They love us. They love us.
So I mean, people don't, and we're talking about a business that's, what I mean. We're not bringing money in yet. So this is really just out of me and Dave's pocket that we're running 20 ads a day. That we're, doing all of these things, buying all of this rosin, putting on these competitions, because in our eyes, we know that it's going to come back at some point. It's just like a long-term investment, I guess, is kind of the way we've looked at it also. But we're having a lot of fun doing it. And as Dave mentioned, I would spend it anyway at dispensaries, so it doesn't really matter to me. You know what I mean? So. Like it's just we're having a lot of fun, I guess, man. That's the easiest way to
You're just
explain.
you're documenting your journey, pretty much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was exactly my plan. It's funny how it's so like 2 completely different things, but a similar path, like for us, literally, because
it's following a dream.
Yeah, like so it's I always wanted to do a podcast. I just didn't know if it was going to be like a sports or a conspiracy or golf or whatever I was going to talk about, and I said, fuck it, let's do. Once I played with the guys, we called it the RGB tour for the first like half year we did it, and I was like, I don't like that because the live tour stuff just came about, and I was like, I don't like that. And then the next year, I literally it was like the second or third week we went out. I recorded something into my phone, and it was just talking about the guys, like roasting everybody, like this guy does this, he sucks at this, just kind of like roasting them. And then I played it in the cart. Same thing. Like I just instead of putting Spotify on, I played the podcast. Yeah. And they're like, "Yo, this one of the guys heard his name. He goes, what the fuck's this?" I'm like, "I did a podcast about us." And then they kind of listened to it, like, "Yo, you're kind of spot on. I mean, you're busting our balls, but you're spot on about like our game." So one buddy hopped on for a little while, and then like we got to the end of the year, and it was like Christmas time, and we had nothing to talk about, kind of thing. So then I was like, that's when I was like, all right, I got to either get it all in or go all out. That's when I decided to start interviewing people and going all in on it. My one buddy JR helps me out a bit with interviews and stuff. He's going to start getting more involved now that golf's starting. He's more excited about it, so that's going to be nice to get some help from him. He got a drone, so we're going to do the course reviews and flyovers with the drone and stuff. So it's gonna we're trying to upgrade the YouTube page. Like I'm really gonna dive into YouTube and try to make something out of that until I get completely shadow banned on there. But it's worth a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta try.
It's worth a shot. What do you guys got coming up? I know you guys got a bunch of events coming up. I see flyers popping up on your page all the time.
Oh yeah. Well, so Saturday so on 420 we've been asked to go to so many. Obviously with this channel, everybody wants us to come to a 420 event.
Sure.
And thank you to everybody who wants us to come. But
We
we know
appreciate it.
we host a private event where we let our friends and family, about 15, 20 people. But this year they have no idea what they're walking into because
Mhm.
we're in the works with planning our own festival with a couple of promoters. So
Okay.
I'm trying to get my feet wet a little bit into a bigger event type of thing. So our friends have no idea. We've got a circus tent, so what they're gonna walk into, like a legit fucking tent, big ass tent. We've got a bong and bowl table with bongs and bowls all over it, with bowls of weed fucking in it. We've got a concentrate table with rigs, electric rigs, all that shit. We've got a volcano and gravity bong table. We've
Nice.
got a blunts and joint table. We've got a podcast area because we're going to go live for a little bit
Yeah.
during that time. We've got axe throwing. We've got fouling. We've got cornhole. We've got giant lights in the yard that spell 420 and green lights.
Oh, that's
It's gonna
sick.
be, oh yeah, our friends.
Movie tents.
We have a movie theater tent outside also. Like, people have no idea what they're coming into.
No
Yep.
shit. That's
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
So yeah, that's only going to be for like I said, we're really just testing the grounds for
See what we can do.
what we can do.
Yeah.
So when we do a bigger show, we can expand it a little bigger. Just
Mhm.
kind of get our feet wet. So we're our friends really are going to be in for a treat this weekend. It's pretty funny.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Me and the boys are just gonna go out get some golf in for the 420. I'll definitely be stopping by 420 Bliss and checking them out. That blueberry, what was it again? Where the fuck did
Blueberry
it go?
haze.
The blueberry haze, man. That was pretty good. What do we got? It's 27%. So it hit pretty nice, burned nice and slow. I don't know if it was infused or not. Doesn't say.
Yeah, man, I've got blueberry sugar right now from Michigan Turp Farms. That is one of my. It's super fire, super
Nice.
fire too.
And also, don't forget, we coming up. We have our Cinco de Smokos.
Oh yeah, so and then
Okay.
in terms of what we have though for the page. Sorry, I smoke a lot. We have our genetics competition coming up, the Cinco de Smoko. That's our next competition that will be live on Instagram on May 5th. That is a seed and genetics company only competition. So you have to either be a genetics company or seed company. You cannot just grow weed and say you want to enter in the competition.
Right.
We wanted to kind of give a platform to just those companies because we don't feel like they get enough credit because they don't
what
really
they're putting out.
they don't sell the weed, they
Yes.
just sell the genetics,
Yes.
and
Right.
so they just get overlooked when it's really them that are creating this fucking amazing shit that that
Oh,
people
yeah.
are smoking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we wanted to do a competition for them. And this is the first competition. Was that what you were gonna say?
Yes.
Yeah. This is the first competition to where we switched it because we did a poll in our last one of our stories saying how would people want us to buy all of the stuff like we always do, or instead of that, which is usually a couple of grand, we'll give that away as the prize money. And
Okay.
you give us the stuff, right? So
Right.
this time around, Cinco de Smoko, which is going to be awesome, by the way, because we have a lot of production value into this, and we're all wearing
Changing it up a little
Well,
bit.
we're going to look like we're in Mexico. It's going to be pretty
Nice.
fucking funny, yeah. But so the grand prize is $1,000. Then we give a championship belt, which is pretty awesome. We have a custom belt made with the logo of the competition, and it's a legit big heavy metal belt.
Nice.
We give they get a permanent reel on our page on the highlight reel for a winner. We have our editing team make them a video with their logo at the end of it.
Yeah.
And then they also get a T-shirt, the custom T-shirt with the winning competition, all the winning results on the back of it. And then the new thing that I'm very proud that we have now is so the Gangier Institute out in Humboldt County, California, I believe, or California.
Yes.
I don't know exactly where it is.
Humble.
But it's a school that's pretty tough to get into. They only allow like 40 students a year or whatever, and you have to have a background in cannabis, blah blah, all of these things. So we met a guy in Ohio who joined our team who is a certified Gangier. So
the first one in Ohio.
He's the first one in Ohio, and there's only 3 in Ohio totally. So
and apparently passing it is it's anybody can essentially that's associated in the world can sign up and essentially take it, but it is not. It's a very difficult course. You really have to know your stuff. He said he failed it like 2 or 3 times before he actually passed. And this is a guy who was in cultivation for years and everything. So and he has access to a lot of things that we don't because he is a Gangier.
yes,
He has access. They have a special app and platform for judging where they take things into account. I mean, it's a really very in-depth way of judging. So it's really changed the level of how we're doing this now. Whereas, before we're saying, okay, well, how strong is it? How do you feel? It smacks pretty good. Now it nothing to do with that garbage anymore. Now it's really truly judging this in the most professional way possible, to the point where last time, I mean, we did not for our last hash comp. So our first hash competition, we had 26 jars. Took us like 3-4 hours to do it. Our last one, we had 9. It took us 4.5 hours for 9.
For 9
For
jars.
So yeah, it's a whole different
whole different game. And and the last thing I would say about the one thing that's also kind of cool that's coming now with being in our competitions is because our our new member is a certified ganjier. When we judge your stuff, we have to photograph it. We have to put it in the ganjier database. So now your strain and your rosin or your donut, whatever it is now in the ganjier's national database.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and we give them a QR code and a print and a score sheet where they can go on and see what the Ganjier report is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
So we're the only competition I know of besides like the Emerald Cup and all of those that do that.
The bigger ones, the big
for
ones.
Small competitions, we're doing the big boy shit. So it's kind of cool.
And you're doing it all on your own, which is that's dope. Shout out to you guys for doing that, because that's
a lot of like I said,
a lot of people ain't doing that, myself included.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of everybody talks about it, but and again, anybody can sit there and even smoke a bunch of weed and smoke a bunch of hash rosin. That's not a big challenge. We know there's a billion people that can do that.
Right.
But, again, you got to have something to say. You got to be able to bring something to the table, because, again, everybody's sitting there watching you. It has to come out there. And that's, look, I'll tell you, the day after we do one, I'm wiped out.
Oh man, I don't know if you saw so I did I was raising money for dogs. Have you seen that video on our page?
I did not, I don't think.
You'll have to like speed through it, you know what I mean, type thing. But it was like 3 hours long, and so I set a world record. I took 153 hash rosin hits in 180 minutes.
Oh my god.
Oh, bro, I felt not right for like 3 or 4 days, bro. Like it was kind of wild, man. Like, and I can smoke a lot of weed, like that. It never bothers me. I wake up refreshed every morning, go to work, like. But for like 3 or 4 days, I didn't feel right. It was pretty wild.
Are you
but
guys?
I raised money for dogs.
Yeah, you got money for
and the
dogs.
craziest thing about that competition, man, was. I donated because like trying to get people to donate their own money is pretty tough sometimes, right? So I was as crazy as, if you put a comment in the comment section, I will take a dab. You tell me what to take. Every dab that you make me take, I will pay $2 to this dog charity.
Okay. So damn, dude. A couple $100.
Yeah, bro. So I ended up donating like $375, or me myself was 300, and then people donated like 75 on the platform. So it was
that's
cool.
fucking great. That's funny.
Yeah, we're just trying to do different shit, man. Create
that's
content,
what you gotta do.
That's
what you gotta do. Because that's the thing. Like, there's 1,000 golf podcasts, but there's not too many golf and weed podcasts. So I had to try to find a different channel and work. And like, to be honest with you, most like when I put up like a cannabis-based podcast, my numbers go up quite a bit. So it's interesting to see that. Like when I go like, a guy, I probably gain maybe 20% more listeners on a cannabis-based podcast. It's
awesome.
I don't know if it's because it's like a different audience I'm reaching out to as well. So that might just be the growth of that audience at that time. So
well, I mean, you probably have a lot of people just interested.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
it's just people.
What are they talking about over there?
And that's the thing. Like, if you ever look like at the kind of podcast I had, like one guy messaged me the other day. He's like, dude, he goes, I love it when I see your podcast pop up. He goes, I don't know if you're going to be talking about golf. I don't know if you're going to be talking about weed. Some guy's putter, a putter company, a clothing company. Like, I never know what the episode's going to be. And I go, that's kind of like what I want it to be. Because like, even like Joe Rogan, I'm trying to be Joe Rogan, but for example, you listen to his podcast, you never know who's popping on there. If he's talking about aliens, if he's talking about politics, if he's talking about UFC, you never know. So it's kind
all
of
the
just
best broadcasters. That's
all the
Howard
best.
Stern, right? Same thing. You never know what's coming next, and that's the beauty. And again, that's what separates you. It's you can't just be this. It just doesn't work. You have to open yourself up. You do.
Yep. And that's like,
and the, oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead. Like
That's
you
it.
got to be more comfortable on camera. Like I was saying the other night to a couple guys I was on a podcast with. Like I never was an on camera guy. Like I just then I got to the point where I was like, you know what, I got to do it. You got to do it, and it's really the only way to really, because like when you're talking to someone just streaming like and not seeing them, it's awkward. You're like on a phone call. It's like being back in high school in 1999.
It's because we're not millennials, right? We're used to the direct face-to-face contact.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Like I don't know, like I don't even know how these kids like they don't. I mean, I don't really put my phone down now because of this shit. But prior to really jumping into this, I never really had my phone in hand like that, or I was always doing shit. And even with my kid, I'm trying to keep her off the TV. Let's go outside and throw the ball, play soccer, do whatever.
Oh, bro, I got 4 boys, man, 17, 16, 13, and 9. Let me tell you, man, it's the level of not wanting to do anything with anybody, shit, because they can just pick up the phone and see them and talk to them on the FaceTime or whatever it is. Like they don't need to go hang out with them. Like I can
We
hang
rode
out
our
with
bikes
30
there.
minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like, go to the fucking movies. Go do something. You know what I mean? Like, go do something. Go play bad. Like, go do something.
Oh yeah, no,
get the hell out the house.
In my house, when things get a little too out of hand like that, it's a nice day outside. I call it 80s day. Like
that's right.
Anything that wasn't alive around in the 80s is gone today, dude. You're going fuck outside and doing shit like out.
That's a good one.
Right,
I'm gonna use that, dude.
Day.
I'm gonna use that shit.
I grew up in the 80s, so hey, you want to know what it's like to live in the 80s?
Yeah.
There you go.
Go build a fort.
Get the fuck out and go do something.
Okay. It's so funny. This one guy that I follow, occasionally you may see me in the stories. I post this guy who walks up with a coffee mug and just like a little quote that he says.
Yeah.
He says the funniest shit.
Oh, yeah.
I love that guy.
It's always along those same lines of like, I mean, but it's true. It is a challenge. And that's, I mean, to me, that's with my kids. Like we both have to go out of our way. You have to with kids to force them to learn how to have face-to-face interaction. Because what I tell them is like, look, if you can do that, then you're better than you got something over 90% of everybody else who's your age because they're not going to be able to. So you're going to have advantages. So there's something to it.
Absolutely. 100%.
You know, I mean, I'm very pleased with my oldest son for sure because I mean, I'm pleased with all my kids. I have all good kids. Don't get me wrong. But my oldest son, he's got the work ethic that I have. Mm-hmm. He's been working from the moment he's been able to. Before he was able to drive, we used to have to drop him off at the ice cream place. But now that he's got his license, he works every chance he gets, all weekends, everything. He's a worker.
That's good.
So I do love the work ethic that my one son has for sure. But I still, they still don't want to do anything or go out or anything. They want to work and come home and eat and play video games.
Yep, them damn video games.
Oh, these video games, man. I never played them as a kid. I don't know about you, but like I was an outside kid. I played basketball. I wanted to be like Mike. I'm 43, so I was born in 81, man. Like
I'm 83, so I just turned 40 in August.
Man. So you're right there with me. It was you wanted to be like Mike in that era,
Absolutely.
Man. Him or Bo Jackson or whoever it was, like.
That's it. It depended on what time of year it was. If it was basketball, I was Michael Jordan.
Right,
if it was baseball, I was Don Mattingly. If it was football, I was Barry Sanders or whoever I wanted to be that year.
For sure.
That's what we did though. We were outside. Like we had different neighborhoods, and we would play a tournament. Everybody would meet up at the park on Saturday. We'd play 2 different games on the fields up there.
Yeah.
Switch it up halfway through and just go nuts, man. Now these kids ride our bikes, you guys can't, you got to stay on this side of the river, but better believe we're going across the river to go where we're not supposed to. Adventure.
Oh man.
Living that Goonies life. Living like Goonies.
It baffles me because it's like I look at like my childhood where it was like I was told I couldn't come home till 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like once I had dinner, like you can't come back till 9. So it was like I was out and about, and there was no cell phones.
No.
They didn't know where I was. And I would be out of the neighborhood at like 10, 11 years old, like way out in the neighborhood, going to the grocery stores and shit on our bicycles and shit.
I'd be going down to the mall 5 miles away.
That's what.
And nowadays, if my kid got on his bike and my wife 360'd him, lived him, and he was like way far away, whoa, she's gonna lose her shit.
Yeah. But we were the last feral generation. We were the last feral generation that did that shit. And it's just, the world has changed. It's not the
It's
kids; it's just the
so
whole
different. It's
world.
just it's the
Yeah,
technology, man.
it's
Yeah.
technology. Thank you. It's not the what. It's these devices that I'm filming this with. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
the cell phone has become way too dependent upon now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
People
I mean,
depend on their cell
It's cool
phones
as
for
shit that we
everything.
can do this. Like I'm sitting here, you guys are where you are, and like it's cool that we can do this. You know what I mean? So
Oh, for sure.
it
Yeah, but
definitely
we're
has its
using it as a
perks.
tool.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
That's different. Like
Yep.
when it's you use it for everything in life, and your whole life's on like it's just ruined a lot of people,
Yeah.
and a whole generation of people are lazy as shit now, man.
Mhm.
Like,
It's crazy. It
I
really
mean,
is.
think
Like,
about it. You can pick up your phone right now, and then within 2 hours, have just about anything you want delivered to your house.
yeah, for
You
the
know,
most
it's kind
part,
of
yeah.
wild. You know, like back in our day, this shit.
Yeah.
See it,
Yeah,
see it in
right,
2 weeks.
right, right.
Hopefully get a tracking number.
Right. You hope the stores even had
If you,
that
if you
shit.
could figure
Let's
out
see.
where there's something that you wanted, it was old. I mean, yeah,
Right.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, such a different one.
It's crazy.
Oh,
But
yeah.
let me wrap this up. I usually
Yep.
finish it up with 3 questions.
Yes,
Today we'll keep it in the cannabis world. What's your favorite strain you ever smoked?
Oh, Dave, go ahead.
it's Blue Dream. That's my all-time fave.
Blue Dream.
So you're an old school guy,
Yeah,
then, right? Because I heard you talking Jack Herrera.
Yeah, I got my hands on some Jack not too long ago.
Ooh,
It was
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
It wasn't. It
such a good
wasn't.
one.
It wasn't the old school. You know,
Yeah, it's not.
it's been mixed up a little bit since
It
then.
is.
So crossed over so much. But when I first started getting like it'd probably be early 2000s, getting the
Yep.
real heady shit up here.
Yep.
It was the sour, it was the
Sour Dean.
Jack, some
Yep.
blueberry haze, like legit blueberry haze type, like old school.
Wasn't that
Heady
DJ
shit.
Quick or something? Wasn't that his?
There was no, who had the haze? There was a haze. Maybe it was the lemon haze. I think might have been
Okay,
his.
yeah, Lemon Haze. That was another
That
one.
was a
Yep.
popular one up here for a long time. And
Mhm.
like you knew when you were smoking it, it was the same shit every single time. And then one
Yes.
day that plug just
Gone.
disappeared. And
All the
I
good
was
shit went
like,
away.
where's the sour? Where's the sour? No one had sour ever again. It's been like probably 15 solid years since I had a good bag of sour or like haze like that
Yep.
up here
I.
anyway. But
What about you?
sour diesel would be my favorite strain I've ever smoked.
That's a great one.
I love
Oh
sour.
man, that's a tough one, man. If you could see above my wall, above this sign, there's probably like 300 eighth bags. My whole ceiling is covered in eighth bags in this room.
It's crazy.
I love flower. I would say right now my favorite strain that I'm smoking, and when I like a new one, it's because something about it like makes me like it better than the previous one. So it's my new favorite. You know,
Hmm.
is probably I think it's 2M Genetics. They teamed up with they're teamed up with Papermaker. You see me post a lot with them. They have a Sherb cream pie right now, man. That is just I love it. I love it. And then Loud Pack Genetics, they got another one called Royal Flush that just, man, you open the bag and it smacks you in the face.
It's that old
It's
school,
that
like
old
dank.
school, man.
Yeah.
Man, you open it, you're like, whoa, shit, Jesus,
Yep.
you know, like,
I
put that
miss
up.
that.
Tops are gonna get there. Put that up.
The good shit.
Yeah,
Um,
but
eh, who's the most famous? Who's the most famous person you ever smoked with? You ever smoked with a famous person? If not, who would you want to smoke with?
So I didn't get to smoke with them, but I very briefly in LA I worked on a really horrible TV show for the BBC, and Cypress Hill basically smoked with us, kind of in
Yeah.
a way. So
Okay.
that's who I would say that the person who I want to, Tommy Chong.
Tommy Chong. Okay, that's a good
Dave's
one.
not here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a Cheech and Chong guy.
Hell yeah.
Man, smoking wise, I mean, I've smoked with a lot of NFL players that I won't name. Quite a lot of them, and
I bet, man.
a few NBA guys too. But
The NBA
I would
guys are
say the
legit now. They don't test for it no more.
oh yeah, absolutely. I know they're good. A lot of let's just say a lot of the old Colts players on the Super Bowl team, they were all
Nice.
pretty heavy smokers. You know what I mean? So. And then the Bears guys. I used to mess with a lot of those guys. So the old
Okay.
Bears teams.
Nice.
And then, but as far as stories, man, I would say I won't get into the whole thing, but Dennis Rodman has bought me a few lap dances. That was a pretty interesting
Nice.
story that I could tell you off camera sometime. That was pretty wild. But a person I would love to smoke with, man, probably Matthew McConaughey, man. He
Okay.
just seems like such a cool ass dude. Like I'd
Yep.
love to smoke with.
For you.
I mean, Burner, I love Burner or Snoop Dogg or Wiz, of course. You know,
Right.
I feel like that's what anybody's gonna say, like those main, or Willie Nelson, or But
Sure.
for me, like if I think outside of those, the normal traditional guys, it would probably be Matthew McConaughey, because he's a crazy ass fucking does shrooms, does all of it. Like he just seems like he'd be a super cool ass dude to party with.
That's fair.
Yep. I had mine was Jason Williams. He played a basketball player, played for
Oh
like
Yeah.
oh yeah, the white
what
chocolate.
yeah, that's my guy.
Oh
That's my
yeah,
guy.
for sure.
I played
That dude,
just like him growing up.
that
That
dude,
was
man, you played like him. Come on now.
you can ask anybody
You tooting your
that
horn that much?
dude, I seen that elbow pass, I went down to my basement and just started boom, popping
Have
that
you
thing off
seen
my
that?
elbow every time.
No.
Oh, dude,
He's
he comes
unbelievable.
down.
It
He
was like
comes
Pistol
down the
Pete,
court,
man.
man, and he goes to like do a pass behind his back, and everybody thinks it's going that way, and he literally takes his elbow and kicks it back that way to the dude.
Oh wow.
It's the most
Yeah.
insane pass you'll ever see in your life.
Like that was
White
my
chocolate,
style of play. I'd rather throw
Oh,
that
he
no
was
look pass
insane.
than a straight bounce pass. Like my coach hated me because of it.
Oh,
Like
you're
I would
serious?
throw the alley oop off the backboard instead of just going up for the layup. Like that was just me. That was
Yeah, buddy.
me. Get the crowd going.
That's awesome.
But yeah, guys, I really appreciate you guys jumping on. Where can everybody find you?
So we're primarily just Baller Blunts 420 on Instagram, and then our YouTube page is, I think, Baller Blunts 3387. I think it is. I'm not sure, but Baller Blunts on Insta, and then you'll see the link to our YouTube page on there. We're working on opening some other platforms on Social Club. We're on the same thing, Baller Blunts on Social Club. But in trying to TikTok, obviously we can't be on there. So
Right.
Yep. Mainly through Insta. So
yeah.
check us out.
Okay. Cool. Guys, truly appreciate your time. Let's do this again sometime.
Yep.
Stay on here. We'll chat it up for a second, but make sure everybody checks out Bowler Blunts. Make sure you check out 420 Bliss, located at 740 Hoosier Road in Troy, New York. Also, Trouble Off the Tee. And then I want to give a quick shout out to my man Omar at the Custom Rag. We got the Pitch Putt and Puff. Where the hell is it? The Pitch Putt and Puff tiles here. Pretty dope. If I can get it opened up here. So if anybody's looking for one, hit me up. Pitch Putt and Puff guys, you already got them coming. Better be paying up this time, you busters. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Later.
Thanks for having us on.
Thanks.